Beginning with Newsline, we have updates on the rains and floods in the central regions. Dylan, for days now, the situation has persisted in many localities in central region, and obviously this is adding on to the already heavy burden of the past floods and rains.
Right, and authorities are moving quickly, obviously, to deal with the situation. And taking note of this, the Prime Minister has immediately issued an urgent request on Monday night calling for stronger action to respond to the severe flooding situation in central Vietnam. Now, he ordered ministries and local authorities to swiftly carry out prevention response and recovery measures, especially in areas at risk of landslides and flash floods. Local forces must ensure residents' safety, reach isolated communities, and deliver essential supplies. He also urged continued monitoring of dangerous zones, timely warnings, and the evacuation of people to safer areas. Schooling, healthcare, and business activities must be restored quickly once waters recede. All ministries and provinces are required to submit daily updates before 1 p.m. Now, zooming into local efforts, authorities in Khanh Hoa province on Monday night activated their highest level flood response as water levels on the Gai River surged, forcing evacuations in Nha Trang City. Now, Tây Nha Trang ward has been hit the hardest, with many roads cut off and some areas submerged by more than 1 meter. Rescue teams have been using motorboats and flotation rafts to move residents, especially the elderly and young children, out of danger. Rapid upstream flows have caused severe flooding across the city's western area. Water levels at the Dong Chang and Dien Phu monitoring stations on the Gai River have already exceeded alert level 2 and 3. As of Monday night, more than 1,100 households, around 3,600 people had been evacuated to safety across the province. Now, rising floods and dangerous landslides are just some of the few things we've seen flooding online platforms in the past few days, with videos and accounts shared by people from the central region. We've gathered some of the footages from these sites so you can really see what's been happening on the ground. Now, let's take a look. Right, so what we're hearing right now is the emergency warning siren in Hue. It's the third time this month it's gone off, making people feel anxious. Now, the streets are underwater once again, and residents are already rolling up their sleeves to deal with whatever comes next. And meanwhile, local authorities in central provinces have blocked the road to avoid accidents. However, some people still drive right into danger and are swept away. Now, this lorry, there is a video about this lorry, being swept away by the heavy current, which is concrete evident that even the most rigid creation cannot fight back against the strength of Mother Nature. Now, according to locals, the driver still hasn't been found, and that's from flood. But landslides are another threat. Now, on November the 16th, a landslide on Khanh Lê Pass killed 6 people traveling on a coach. Rescue teams in Khanh Hoa worked all night in the danger zone, like the clip you're seeing right now, to help rescue passengers. Now, locals captured the moment. Officers climbed down the slope, cut open the coach, and brought the victim outside safely. In Dak Lak, meanwhile, 2 houses are buried under what was part of the mountain. The footage shows panicked families evacuated from their homes. An elderly man was also carrying his grandson, and their neighbor kept asking, "Is there anyone inside?" to make sure no one was left behind. Right here. Right. It is happening here right now, and the situation seems really drastic. Now, during the disaster, the kindness of people show each other is highlighted. Central Vietnam is still facing an incredibly tough time, and the hope now is that communities can stay strong, stay alert, and stay safe. On the top of the bulletin this hour, we have more updates on the support and rescue efforts in central localities currently suffering from the impact of severe floodings in recent days. Unfortunately, human casualties have been recorded. At the landslide site on Khanh Sơn Pass, Khanh Hoa province, the incident buried 3 people, and up to now, 1 victim is still missing. Since Monday, the authorities have been working hard to clear the landslide sites to reach the scene. And the search work has encountered many difficulties as the area continued to experience a second landslide. Soil, rocks, and trees fell and piled up over the initial landslides. Some machinery and vehicles have been mobilized to the landslide site to carry out rescue work. In addition, because Provincial Road 9 is still eroded in many sections, traffic must be banned. The authorities have put up signs to guide people to find other routes. While rising casualties were recorded, functional forces are still determined to save those who still have the chance, no matter how small that window of opportunity is. That is exemplified in Da Nang City after receiving reports that 2 residents were stranded by rising floodwaters. Now, Phuoc Chanh Commune Police quickly got to the scene and used a specialized canoe. Officers skillfully carried out a swift rescue despite the strong currents. Now, 2 residents, Chen Kum Li and Ho Van Win, were surrounded by fast-moving water while returning home from work and became trapped between 2 strong currents. Navigating difficult conditions with limited visibility, the rescue team used a dedicated rescue canoe to carefully approach the stranded people. Within minutes, the forces successfully got them back to safety and took them to a nearby hospital. Quảng Ngãi province is also among the areas hit hardest by the heavy rains. Several hundred millimeters of rainfall on Monday caused floodwaters to surge rapidly, and in Sơn Hà Commune, the rising water swept away one section of the Nước Bao Bridge. With the bridge destroyed, the main route through the area has been completely cut off. More than 280 households and over 1,200 residents in Mang Na and Nước Bao villages are now isolated. By Monday morning, the Sơn Hà Commune People's Committee was able to access the site and begin planning the construction of a temporary bridge for local communities.